Eric, do you remember we went to the mall and then
Yeah.
came,
That was great.
The best time ever.
we came back and then went to pick up the kegs to return them to get the money? Were that you?
To Havana's?
Yeah, but
People were stealing those kegs, right? They had the kegs in the back of the restaurant. People would steal them, bring them home, drink them, and return them.
No. We went to the Woods Party location.
Oh, God.
Do you remember that?
Oh, so me, I don't even know if we could say this, but
Why
whatever,
not?
block it out.
Statute
But
of limitations
me-
definitely up.
You could block the names out, but me,
No, just don't. Go on.
okay, me, a guy, and two girls left the Woods Party.
Perfect. That wasn't that fucking hard.
That was pretty good. So me, a guy, and two girls left the Woods Party, and we're walking down the street, and the police are up and down, and then they see us, and they go, "Hey, do you guys know anything about?" They're like, "Do you know anything that's going on, like drinking in the woods or anything?" And the guy I was with was very quick because I'm sitting there like, I pulled an Albert, and I was just sitting there like, we should get into that story. Maybe
Now we got to tell that one.
yeah, we could, okay. And so he's like, no, we were at this girl's house across the street. I'm getting good at this. And then I called up Mikey, and I said, "Hey, Mikey," I said, "the cops are on their way. Get the fuck out of there." And then I just hear him, everybody, and hangs up. And then we got in the car, dropped the girls off, and people are running through the cemetery. A bunch of like drunk high school kids.
I was one of them.
Yeah, I was one of them.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was like the whole high school just running from the cops.
I remember that moment when Mikey was screaming, "Cops! Everyone, the cops!"
I told Mikey, I was like, "Cops are coming, get everybody out of there."
Cops.
What's crazy about that story? That's the one in Tomei, right?
Yeah, but you know what's crazy?
Yeah, on the other side.
That's not the story I was talking about.
You got a crazier one. All right, go on.
We do
That's
this a
not
lot.
Eric, we went to the Woodbridge Mall. We came back. I'm pretty sure you were there. We went the Woods Party by the police station. Behind the...
I remember that because somebody goes, "It's the last place we'll ever look." That was by by Drake. By the guy, Drake.
Yeah, exactly. And someone's father that lived on that block that wasn't at the party, the next saw us there and said we were dumping garbage. The cops came. You weren't there.
I don't know.
They pulled me out of my car. They picked bird shit off the back of my car and said, "He's got weed." I'm not kidding. I got to find out who it was because these two people, I remember one of them. Two people come walking out of the woods. They went to get the kegs that would have been empty. We were going to return them to get the refund back, right? So these two kids walk out. I'm looking at them. There's 4 cop cars, okay? And they got me pushed up against the red Geo Prism. And these two people that I told the cops went into the woods to look for a paintball spot, they just look at me and walk by like they don't even fucking know me. So then they looked back twice, and then the cops called them over. We ended up, so I pretty quick on my feet. I told them that, I said, "Oh, we were never there, but I heard there was a party." So we went back and we went to look for the kegs. And they're like, "Well, I guess you guys weren't here because there's no kegs, but there was a couple hundred beer cans, so they made us clean them up."
That's it? That's good, though. I mean, it could have been worse.
That's shitty, though. Imagine you weren't really there, and they're like, "Clean up this
Hey,
shit."
guys, go clean this shit up.
Yeah. If I wasn't at a party and the cops made me clean it up, I would lose my shit. I'm like,
That was the weirdest. That Tomei party. I actually talked about this party on the Loudcast 5 years ago, but I think it's important to bring up again. This fucking party was the most insane shit because we pushed it 2 nights in a row. Remember that? It
Second
worked.
night, yeah.
It worked the first night. For anyone who was there watching, it worked the first night. And then you were like, "Let's do it again." By that time, everyone knew what was going on. So I'll never forget, and I'll say his name. I don't think he'll mind. I'll never forget, like, a few people were playing beer pong in the woods, and, like, in my eyes, like Lorray had the ball ready to shoot.
Last cup Lorette.
Last cup Lorray, yeah. I know he'll watch this. What's up? Last cup Lorray. And I'll never forget, there was something like, cops are coming. And Lorray just dropped the ball. Everyone started running. Now, the worst part, when people don't know about that area, if they haven't been there, it was like a sinkhole, right? You're like running through muck.
That place was like a path where people used to ride dirt bikes and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And it
was like hills and jumps.
And it had poured the night before. It rained so bad to where I remember I had white case Swisses on. Remember, those are popping for a little bit, right?
Everything about those bleep those out.
Case
Oh, my Skechers were the S, bro. I'm telling you.
So you're running through muck now, and everyone could vouch for this who was there. You ended up with the most random crowd ever because you kind of just all split up. Like, I ended up with 5 people who I never necessarily, like, chilled with that much. I know, like, I was with Lorray and a couple other guys I didn't really talk to, and you're just like, oh my god, the key is to get the hell out of here because the cops are coming. So we end up, and I think Storch is with us, we end up at a graveyard in Bound Brook. Remember, you'd walk through.
A lot of people ended up, yeah.
Yeah, so you get to the graveyard, and so we get into the graveyard. Mikey, I don't know if you know this story. We get into the graveyard.
I was in the graveyard.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
So you were able to get out. We all had to hop the fence to get out of the graveyard. And there was someone there. There was a girl there from another town who no one really knew. And she couldn't make it over the fence.
She was a little portly.
And everyone, we just left her in the graveyard.
I think whoever she was there with, her friend stayed with her. But yeah, everyone else just abandoned her.
I want to know who this person is so bad. I remember hearing it. I don't remember who it was.
I don't know, but like,
don't leave me.
How horrifying.
And of all places, a cemetery. She was sitting there like, this is kind of spooky.
I'm sorry. It's every man for themselves here. We got to get the fuck out of here. What's up?
Did anyone end up with me running through there from this?
No.
Because I ended up out by, after the graveyard, we went north, I guess it would have been, ended up by 22, and then we're cutting through yards because cops ended up following us there.
Yeah, they were all.
I wasn't with you. Yeah.
I ended up getting picked up with somebody. One of the girls in our grade ended up picking me up. And we just like mudded up her car because we were filthy. She's like, "My car did," her like sucks.
Who crossed the river in neck-height water?
Yeah. There was like one skinny-ass branch you had to like try to step over.
It almost would have been better just like answering to the cops at that point. Like,
absolutely not.
You know what's funny? Like looking back, like what would they have done?
Yeah, well,
giving us underage drinking tickets and made us clean up.
They made Mikey clean up to a party he wasn't even fucking at.
Right, that was the next day. Yeah, we ran like it was a murder scene.
That's what I'm saying. That ball dropped out of Lorray's hand. And, like, everyone's like, let's get out of here.
Because it's like, as soon as he dropped, like, everyone turned, you saw all the flashlights, like, going through, and you're like, fuck.
And it was
cops
smart,
actually
though.
were there.
For people to find it, they had highlighters tied to the trees. So you had, like, a path, like a glow stick. Glow stick.
Yeah.
And so you're like, where is, there's a glow stick. And it was like, how far would you say that is? Like a half a mile? Like,
it was far.
It was definitely like half a mile in. It was real far.
The only reason the cops knew is because there's just a line of high school kids at 10 o'clock at night walking into the woods on a main road.
What's going on here?
Yeah. They're like, all right, they're getting drunk as hell. Yeah.
I don't even remember how he snuck. Because, well, the problem was at Tomei, when you would have parties there, everyone would get caught. So, like,
cops would go there all the time.
Yeah, because the thing is, that on the other side of it by the park, there was like a PSC&G terminal, and like they had sensors around there and cameras. So like when we would all go back there, they would know right away. So then I forget who had the idea. Someone was like, "Why don't we go on the other side?" And then
probably somebody who fished back there or something.
To be honest, I don't want to say their names, but they lived over on Beechwood.
It's not Krang, is it?
No, he didn't live by beach. He didn't live on Beechwood.
Crane lived on the other side of town.
No, but yeah, so the cops look, and like we kind of caught on them. We were like, let's just do it on that fucking area. And Mikey, me and you didn't drink though. That was what was weird. Like we kind of just went and saw the bullshit.
Yeah, why did you even run? You could have just
I don't
stood there and like, we're good.
Because someone laid down actually, and the cops didn't find him. I forget who it was.
I know who it was. Yeah, he laid down with his, like they were hiding with, he was hiding with his girlfriend. And like they didn't find him. I know who
That's funny.
Was it?
That's funny. Mikey doesn't drink, and he had to clean up all the beer cans.